Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you? How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Hi, Danny Convert.
Oh, hey, Daniel.
Up early out east.
So official.
That's right.
I was thinking when I was getting ready today, I was like, am I still going to wear the tank tops? Because it's technically fall, but I am inside, so it really doesn't matter. I'm going to stick to my signature look. And I was like, I couldn't even remember if you'd been wearing your signature look. And you are. You're Adidas.
Mostly at this point out of lack of creativity. I think what we all want to know is whether you're wearing pants.
I'll leave that to the imagination. Yeah, so okay, well, without further ado, to you and you and you, live from New York, it's Tuesday morning.
Autumn, winter, next year.
Time heals everything. It's a song. And time heals everything.
I have to say, every time I watch the intro, I feel like I like gather some sort of new appreciation for it.
Yeah, me too.
There's just something so satisfying about the juxtaposition of Bernadette, just like her neck muscles and veins, just like strain of the choice, and then just right over to Patty, just like unhinging her jaw and just like letting it flow.
Totally. Hi, Taryn.
Hey, Taryn, our beloved Taryn Stein.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I feel the same way. Like when we were working on it and trying different things, remember we were gonna maybe have Patty singing with one look, so it would be in the right key of Bernadette saying, and have her saying "loving me" because it's, I'll be May.
But she was saying
it's so perfect the way Patty even had bad diction on the word "me." It's just perfect the way it is, though, and I really love the modulation into Patty's note at the end, and I just love it.
Yeah, and like it's such professional camera work. It just like zooms out, and it's just like such a nice little button.
Totally.
Well, speaking of other things that are nice, should we go into our appreciation station? I think we both have one today.
Oh, that is a landmark day here at Next Year Some Year.
Yes. So let's go into that to cleanse the palate, and then I have some other questions about your current home project.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so why don't we do yours first? I kind of saw what it was. If I'm not mistaken, it's one that we did a corn stream over.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we lost one of the great lights of the stage this past week, which was Armelia McQueen.
I didn't realize.
Yes, who was so wonderful in Ain't Misbehavin', which we had corn streamed for our Broken Records podcast. Big announcement about Broken Records podcast coming up later today.
Yeah.
But we love Armelia McQueen, and so I went to pull a clip so we could have a moment of appreciation in honor of her passing. And I have to say that I forgot how, because it was the TV broadcast of Ain't Misbehavin' was during the run of Nell Carter's hit sitcom, Give Me a Break, which I just love saying because Daniel's like, what?
I was really hoping it was going to be called Nell, which that Jodie Foster movie.
Yeah. But I mean, Give Me a Break was kind of a big deal for my generation, but it's a forgotten show. It's not like something that you hear people are not like, oh, Give Me a Break's on Hulu Plus. It's like,
I wish it was. I miss those days where Broadway people could really like try to make a name for themselves in Hollywood.
Yeah. Well, anyway, but so Armelia, one of Armelia's big songs that I wanted to excerpt was Squeeze Me, which I first really became a fan of because Patty sang it at Les Mouches. But But Armelia's version on the Ain't Misbehavin' album is so fantastic, but that's not on the video. So I chose this song, When the Nylons Bloom Again, which is actually very topical right now because it's a song from during the war when women couldn't get nylons. So it's a great number about I'll be happy when the nylons bloom again. And it made me feel kind of sad for our moment in America right now being so divided, just because America has faced challenges like we're facing in our personal, I don't mean the heavy stuff even, but just the day-to-day life, the way our lives are so impacted by COVID right now. People have faced these kinds of things, but in the past, the country was united against that obstacle. So there was more of a sense of joy and pride in overcoming it. And now it's so politicized and divided that it's hard to feel anything but sad and scared and stressed out about, you know, even the most lighthearted aspects of this experience, you know. But so to give us the lighthearted, joyful, and very shady against her co-stars, let's have a clip of Armelia McQueen.
Here we go.
Itch. Rayon that spread. I'll be happy when the nylon bloom again. Time is forgotten, it's red. Only wait to keep the flaxen fresh. Get some best for your flesh. I'll be happy when the nylon bloom again. Ain't no need to blow no sirens then. When the drums and hoes again appear, then that means so clear. Working women of the USA in Britain, humble down with your lowly dubious heart. We'll be happy as a puppy. It's on stepping back into that nylon or to part. Keep on into the nylon bloom again, and the ones come back to join them then in the world that Mr. Wallace planned, strolling hand in hand. Working women of the USA in Britain, humble down with your lowly debutante. We'll be happy as a puppy. It's on stepping back into that nylons or to and let's come back to join them then.
Oh my God. I was like not wanting it to end.
I mean, it's also funny. I had to kick such a long clip, but she's just so wonderful. And you know, I always complain about that people like Judy Kay with that kind of like operatic-y, sort of peanut buttery contralto mezzo kind of voice. And then I get annoyed because like Patty did the old lady in Candide, which is like one of the few roles I want that in, and she doesn't have that voice. But I love Armelia because she's got that, and she's got the belt, and she's a soprano. I just love it.
Yeah, she really gives it all to you. That makes me want to watch Ain't Misbehavin' again.
Totally.
And again, plug, if anyone hasn't listened to our podcast episode, please do that.
Yes.
Okay,
we should make our announcement now.
we need to, yeah. Speaking of this comment, did y'all see Patty's tweet? Yes, we saw Patty's tweet, the tweet around the world.
By the way, that tweet got a lot of traction, and it's inching her closer. She's now, at least when I checked earlier today, at 87,000 followers on Twitter. Bernadette, who's had the account for years, is like, I think 92 or 94. And I'm like, come on, Patty, one more. By the time this election is over, Patty will have surpassed Bernadette.
We should have a segment about that. And we need like a little like
bar graph.
One of those fundraiser, like filling it in with red ink. Like,
I mean, it's not really fair because Bernadette's tweets are like, what a beautiful sunset. And she gets like 700 likes.
Yeah.
And Patty's like, Because I hate the motherfucker. How's that? You know?
Patty's like cranking out like original, like brilliant content.
But like once in a blue moon. And Patty's so not really on Twitter. Like somebody had DM'd me the other day being like, oh, how can I get her to see this if I tag her? I'm like, it ain't gonna happen. I actually tagged her insulting her because it looked so ballsy, but I knew that she'll never know.
That's so true though. I cannot imagine. I mean, she follows nobody, correct?
Follows nobody and doesn't even, but other people follow nobody who are narcissistic and at least read their own responses. And what Patty literally doesn't look at Twitter. She proclaims and then leaves, you know.
Do you think she tweets it, or do you think she has like her son Josh do it?
Or her manager, maybe. But she might do it, but it's not, she's not like in it. She's just like, I want to say blah, blah, blah. How do you spell fascist? Okay, done. You know, that's it.
I love it. As she's like I picture her like getting a massage on that massage table down in the basement with her phone.
Massage table.
Massage table. Okay, so tell the announcement.
Well, Dallas Summer Musicals, which is a wonderful presenting organization in Dallas, as a benefit for their arts workers, who, you know, we believe arts workers are essential workers who've been unemployed because they haven't had a season because of COVID. They are offering 3 Broadway Super Diva live stream concerts, starting with Patti LuPone on October 24th. And then they're having Laura Benanti and Vanessa Williams. And their special live stream concerts called Live from the West Side. They'll be at a venue on the Upper West Side with no audience. And so we had taken a little time off from the Broken Records podcast. We were waiting to choose the right thing for a Quarren stream for our next episode. And what could be better than we are going to Quarren stream live. We'll be watching Patty's concert on October 24th. And then that Monday morning, that new episode of Broken Records will be out with us giving you the lowdown.
Yes, honey. It just really just dropped into our lap and we were like, that's it.
Yes. And I'm very excited because, we have a special guest on next year's Some Year, which is Patty's musical director, genius musical director, arranger, and composer, Joe Thalkin, is going to be joining us on next year's Some Year to tell us all about the show, which is going to be the program from her new album, Don't Monkey with Broadway, which is a set. So it's going to be really...
it's going to be that long?
I don't know if it's the whole 2-act version or like, we'll have to ask Joe for all the details, but I'm super excited to talk to him. And Joe's just a brilliant talent anyway, and we can talk to him. He's also with Marin Mazie's person, so I'm excited to get the chance to have a Marin moment, another beautiful EP. Anyway, so that'll be fun. Also, Joe Thalkin is just a snack, so that is going to be a fun.
Ooh, I'm so excited.
Yeah. He kind of looks like Beto O'Rourke.
Oh, okay. Yes. We're
Thank you, Caroline.
Oh, I love that. The better work of Broadway. Well, speaking of other people we love, and I'm so glad you played that Armelia clip because I did not hear that she had passed. So I'm glad we are paying her tribute.
Well, I'm surprised by how not huge her career was.
Yeah.
I remember doing this when we Quarren streamed Danish the Haven. I thought for sure, she must have been on 100 episodes of, I don't know, Boston Legal or Boston Public or, LA Law or, Murder, She Wrote, or she must have been a replacement Mama Morton or Mary Sunshine in Chicago. That song was very Mary Sunshine.
Yeah, it was.
You'd think she would be everywhere. Like, didn't she do like Hella Dolly at Dallas Summer Musicals or something? But no, she really didn't work very much. I don't know whether she had a family or what her situation was. But so, but some people had posted about her, which is, how I heard.
Very good. Well, speaking of Murder, She Wrote, perfect segue into my appreciation station, which it's this guy on Instagram. His name is oh god, now I forgot it. It is okay. I'll look for it while we're playing it. But it's this man on Instagram, hilarious. He's making these hilarious parody videos of TV title sequences.
Oh my god, I love it already.
All mask related. So he did one for the Mary Tyler Moore theme song, but instead of you're gonna make it after all, but it was like if you wear a mask. So he did that one, but then I was like, I'm a little unsure if that's like a copyrighted song that we'll get in trouble for playing the whole thing. So the next one he posted was the Murder, She Wrote intro, which I thought was a little safer because purely instrumental. So here is that intro, and then I will plug him at the end. Yes, Queen. Talk about a devoted fan. And okay, P Martin 1011.
With a name like that.
P Martin 1011. He also has a really, really great one from Mary Tyler Moore intro. Just like lining up every shot perfectly, the costumes, the setting. I just have to give a shout out and a woo woo woo, because that takes some gay dedication.
For sure.
Hey, Scott Yannick.
Hi, Lupone dolls. I'm so sorry I didn't credit the fabulous Lupone dolls for my photo that I used in our in my Insta story today to plug the episode, because they find the most wonderful photos. This picture of Patti LuPone and Ethel Merman. Yeah. And I don't know how many other people were in that shot or what they did, but they edited it so you get a proper photo of Patti and the Merm. And I was so excited when they posted it. I grabbed it to use in the story, and I didn't think I had to credit them because it had a watermark, but then I accidentally cut the watermark out. So thank you guys.
Well, I always love when you post those photos because I always try to guess which one is me and which one is you. And today I was like, am I Patti?
Age before beauty.
I also have to say, Taryn, the fact that he has a typewriter is funny to me as well. And the fact that he has a printer. And if you look on that video, it's like the printer still has the sticker on it. So I'm like, did he go out and have to buy a printer and then take it back just to fucking make this video? Oh, good. Okay, back in the good graces of the Lupone dolls.
You got to be careful because I think Shut Up Lupone is mad at me because I've been so friendly with Lupone dolls.
Uh-oh.
The wars between sometimes I just need to take a break from it all and go to Carmelo Land where they only have one fan account, so there's nobody to get in the bad hot water with.
Carmelo Land, the safe space. That should be the next season of Feud that we need, is all the Lupone fan accounts.
Honestly, one of my favorite games to play is what should be the next season of Feud.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you just start with Patti as the theme, you've got with no limit to how many versions you can do.
Yeah, just so many possibilities.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, speaking of Patti, should we go to our next section, which I think you have an audio clip for?
Oh, for the Who Do You Think You Are?
Who do you think you
are? Adam says this is just like The Unreachable Star, which is hilarious. That is, we really need to do a segment about that at some point. But this woman that was a huge Patti LuPone fan, obsessively so, and literally stalked her, and then wrote a book about it. I'm not giving credit. Then her husband drove off a cliff. So after the book was published, it's also a crazy story. But everyone should know about it. Okay, so before we listen to this, it's just an audio. Unfortunately, I'm suspicious that the video of this has been scrubbed from the internet. Because, okay, picture it. Berkeley, 1995. 5. Mandy Patinkin, of whom I've been a lifelong fan and still am to this day. Although it must be said that he is in a select group along with Lainey Kazan and certain others who are uniquely suited for Who Do You Think You Are? You know?
Totally.
My friend from college, Drew Burns. Yes, Berkeley, 1995. Well, Drew will appreciate I was living in my apartment on Carol Channing Way. And Mandy's new album, Experiment, was about to be released. And he was going to be promoting it on I think it was Regis and Kathy Lee, which is why I'm surprised I couldn't find the clip. And what? The song list was incredible. He was singing one of my favorite songs by one of my favorite singer-songwriters, Taxi by Harry Chapin, which I was so thrilled about, and a whole bunch of other great stuff. And he was singing Somewhere That's Green. And I was like, a man singing Somewhere That's Green? I mean, of course, it's one of my karaoke go-tos. Right there, baby. But I was like, but Mandy? I mean, like, but so he sings it, you know, and it's kind of how you would expect. And frankly, it's not, I really prefer like a belter doing it like myself. Mandy did it like in that Irish Jewish tenor, you know, and he's like, there's plastic on a furniture to keep it neat and clean. Right, Ma? Looking into the camera. And I was like, is like his mom watching the show and he's giving her a shout out because like growing up, I don't know, I think he grew up in the suburbs of Chicago or something. His like Jewish mother in the 1950s had like plastic on the furniture. I was like, that's an odd choice. It kind of takes me out of the moment, but like
break the fourth.
His mom's a big Regis Philbin fan or something, you know?
Yeah.
So then, as I always would be in those days, Tuesday morning, I was at, thank you, Drew. It's not true. Tuesday morning, I was in line at Tower Records before they opened at 10 a.m. to buy that CD. And here's what I hear when I get home and play the CD.
Uh-oh.
She rakes and trims the grass. I love to mow and weed.
Changing it up, okay.
She cooks like Betty Crocker.
Fine.
And she looks like
A
Dawn.
little sexist.
There's plastic on the furniture to keep it neat and clean. Right, Ma? In the pine salts and...
On the album?
That is so odd.
Oh, it gets odder. So this is me in 1995. That
Wait.
is
he like singing this to his mom?
on the album?
Like,
No.
it's like she cooks like Betty Crocker and looks like Donna Reed. Like, is that like his mom? Like, is this the song about like living with your mom and not with your wife for him?
No, but like, isn't it like, doesn't it turn sexual at the end? We snuggle up in Lucy and no, he says she's my December bride.
Oh, right.
Saying I want a girl just like the girl that married dear old dad, you know? But it's just weird to talk to your mom in the middle of the song. But you know what? In the list of Mandy Patinkin weird choices on his albums, like really, it's like the more years went by, the less room there was for me to be like, and by the way, you know,
Yeah.
cut to 2012.
Uh-oh.
An Evening with Patti LuPone and Mandy Patinkin on Broadway.
Yes.
Patti starts singing, they had these weird medleys and mashups. I don't remember if it was In Buddy's Eyes or I'm Old Fashioned.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say it was I'm Old Fashioned. And she's like, on her weird diction and weird tempos, I'm old fashioned. I love the moonlight. And that in her one spotlight on one side of the stage, spotlight comes up on Mandy in another part of the stage on like a rolling chair, you know, and he's like, she rakes and trims the grass, and I'm like, okay, fine.
Here we go.
And in the song, in the mashup with Patti LuPone, he leaves this weird reality of him like in this spotlight, turns to the audience, right, Ma?
So weird.
Yeah, so fucking weird.
You know, it's one of those things where it's like maybe that's something he did as a joke, like in rehearsal, like the very first day, and like it got a laugh, so he just like kept it in, and he just thinks it's like working all these years later.
I mean, and the thing is, I feel like Patti is like when she's with Mandy Patinkin, she really comes from a place of yes.
Yeah.
You know?
Don't say why, say why not.
I feel like she's very like, oh, that'll be a scream, Mandy. You know?
Yeah.
Although I do also picture like their rehearsal process of him being like, so Patti, I want us to do the bench scene from Carousel. And she's like, oh yeah, If I Loved You, just email me the lyrics. And he's like, no, but it's the bench scene. It's because Oscar Hammerstein really had the thing where, so it's, you know, and yeah, email me the lyrics. And he's like, so it's going to be, I'm playing Billy Bigley. I just picture that disconnect.
This should be your next video or something. You actually do a really good Mandy.
It's not as good as all the great Mandys that have come before me.
Mandy. Wait, what's that?
Oh, Mandy.
You came and you gave without take, girl.
But you did that weird shit in the song there.
We should work on a parody about Mandy Patinkin in that Barry Manilow song.
I have to say, in fairness to Mandy, first of all, Mandy Patinkin's Twitter is off the chain. It is so hilarious. I mean, no, we love Patti getting up once in a while and being like, screw the fucking Republicans, you know. But like Mandy is much more unique and specific, and like it's less like you know, strident like politics 101, and just much more like the nitty-gritty of life during COVID. And it's him and his fabulous wife Catherine Grody, great actress from the Lemon Sisters and other things. Have you seen that movie, by the way?
No, I haven't.
You need to, because it's so up your alley. Diane Keaton, Carol Kane, and Catherine Grody. And you'll love it because it takes place in Atlantic City. So it's, you know, I think they're using the Trump hotels. But anyway, whatever. But they do these great videos, him and Catherine, from their like house in the mountains in Colorado. And it'll just be like their son, Gideon, will like tell them like internet slang and they have to guess what it is and stuff. It's so brilliant. But also I have to say, Mandy, I mean, you know, I make fun of Mandy because a lot of what he does is unpalatable to me. But during that evening with Patti LuPone and Mandy Patinkin, an evening where Patti LuPone was in fine form and delicious voice, saying, "Don't cry for me, Argentina," in Buddy's eyes. I mean, you cannot complain about Patti in that show, thrilling Broadway work, and yet Mandy wiped up the floor with her when he sang "Oh, What a Circus" from Evita.
Ooh.
Mandy electrified that Broadway theater. Honestly, I think more than anything I've ever seen anyone do on Broadway, including Patti, including Bernadette, Elaine Stritch, Nathan Lane, Mandy Patinkin singing "Oh, What a Circus." It was like watching like a volcanic thunderbolt nuclear bomb just overpower the entire room. It was thrilling.
Wow, I would love. Is that on our clips of that performance?
Probably, but it wouldn't. It's not. I mean, honestly, I so object to his choices. Like when he sings "Oh, What a Circus" and he gets to the part that the Requiem comes in, you know, "Salve Regina," he goes "Salve Regina," and then he makes up Yiddish gibberish, and he's like a bubazay, a bubazay, a bubazay. It's like it's not good because of sort of. It's just his sheer power.
Yeah,
is insane. That said, power can be used for good or for evil.
Well, and someone else who we love their power, but we object to many of their choices is Miss Barbara Joan herself.
Hells to the
I I have so many good photos of her. I had to really, I just had to help. I couldn't help myself. My favorite, her feeding her granddaughter in a kitchen drawer for some reason. Okay, so she is the subject of this week's What Would Bernadette Do?
Anything you could do, I could do better.
As you guys know, or maybe some new listeners don't know, this segment is when you give us scenarios that our particular diva of the week, in this case, Barbara Streisand, how they would react to these. You give us scenarios and we tell you how they would react. So last time we did Liza Minnelli, someone said something about trying to use the bathroom at coffee shop on Union Square, which really took us in a good direction. So while we're waiting for people to give us those scenarios, I have a few more photos I'd like to show of Miss Streisand. So beautiful. I mean, back in the day, it's like she really was like a fashion icon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And of course, my fave.
Yes.
What's up, Doc? But yeah, I have to go back to this one. This one's just so, there's just so much to unpack in this photo, from just the way her granddaughter is unsafely sitting in that drawer. And of course, I'm just analyzing everything on the kitchen counters. And then of course, her Violet and Sadie dogs with the matching t-shirts, which are clones and descendants from, I guess, Sammy or Sadie or Sarah, or one of those old, like, furry white dogs that she used to have.
I mean, Barbara cloning her dogs is why they hate us.
Who's they?
The Republicans, I don't know.
Aliens. It's so true. It's like, yeah, it's just so, I mean, she's another one who, she's gotten really active on Instagram and Twitter, but like her tweets are just so, they're just so on the nose and like not really saying anything new or interesting. It's just like pure like anger and like stress tweeting, you know? She just is like talking about how Trump is lying all the time and blah, blah, blah. Like, yes, we know. Okay, well, I have a Barbara. I'll think of one for you while we're waiting for other submission. Okay, so how do you think Barbara, if Barbara ever leaves her house, like maybe to like go to that frozen yogurt place she loves in Santa Barbara, what do you think she would do if she and James Brolin were in the ice cream parlor, masks on, getting their ice cream, and someone walked in not wearing a mask? How do you think she would react to that? Getting into character.
Jim, I'll be in the car. I'll text you.
She's like, I'll be in the car. I'll text you. Oh, extra rainbow.
Exactly. It's not safe in here.
Not safe in here.
Don't forget the side of extra sprinkles.
An extra pint for the fridge. Oh my God, Adam, this one's so good. Barbara creating a Build-A-Bear. I feel like she'd be very interested in the materials. You know, she'd be like, no, what kind of cotton is this? Is this, where was this wool harvested from? Will the lambs to make the wool, were they raised humanely? You know, in my gypsy, we're thinking about, I'm thinking about raising the lambs myself in the backyard with my chickens for when Louise is given a lamb for her birthday. When it's time to shoot the scene, we'll choose whichever lamb seems serious about telling the story. Oh my God. Can you imagine? Yeah, like Barbara taking her granddaughter to Build-A-Bear.
Oh my God, wait, we have a celebrity in the house.
In the house? Oh my God.
I'm so glad Pixie's here, because unless she just walked in by accident and is about to walk right out. But the thing that I bravely shaded Patty on Twitter, knowing that she'll never see it, was because I wanted to say that Pixie Aventura lip syncing Patty's Rose's turn
Oh.
better than Patty doing Rose's turn.
Mhm.
And I felt so ballsy posting it because I knew Patty would never see it. But it's true. If you guys haven't seen Pixie Aventura, rush out and listen to our Broken Records episode with her. My favorite drag queen, but doesn't even describe it. She's my favorite comedian, my favorite politician. Mwah, I love you.
My favorite politician. I mean, I saw her when we were in Fire Island a few weeks ago. I was there for 2 weeks, and I saw her and Marty twice, and then I saw her solo show, I think twice as well.
Amazing.
And she never disappoints. She's always so good. And when I was with you and our friends, we were there that night when she did Rose's turn. And like you said about Mandy earlier, better than any Broadway performance I've ever seen, any drag performance I've ever seen. Just complete talent.
And always that way. And, you know, I've spoken a lot about how I hate dancing and like, I really don't need any choreography in most musicals for my taste, you know? Like I don't need to be there for that. But when Pixie dances, I live for it. I was like, yes, finally, the triple threat Rose's turn. It made me feel, I know Patty can't dance, but like, it made me mad at Bernadette for not doing more choreography, you know?
Yeah, well, and Pixie is truly a triple threat. I mean,
at least.
So funny. She's like B. Arthur level funny in her reactions when she's with Marty. But then when she's by herself, she's just such a wonderful hostess, and she can dance and sing and lip sync for her life. I mean, she's the best. We love her so much. She's going to be a huge star. I mean, someone needs to like write her a Broadway show.
I know it.
Oh, this makes me so happy. Hi. Well, it makes me sad and also happy. Hi from Sri Lanka, going through the third wave down here.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Thank you for joining us. We're so happy to have you.
Yes. In our thoughts, for sure.
For sure.
Okay, one more Barbara, and then we have to move on. Scott Yannick, this is a great one. So first of all, this at Chuck E. Cheese, Barbara would never go to Chuck E. Cheese. She would literally hire people to come in and like transform one of the rooms of her house into the birthday party.
If she were at Chuck E. Cheese, though, if you like forced her, like beamed her there, she would see, you know, the like raised places in the main room where like Chucky and like his wife, Miss Piggy or whatever, and they're all like in those little like, she'd be like
the animatronics.
Yeah, but they're, you know how they're up in those, they're like in box seats.
Yeah.
She would be like, how do you get up to the boxes?
Like, how much do those cost? How much extra? And I also think
Chucky's agent.
What?
Who is Chucky's agent?
She'd be there. She'd have like my lifelong friend Marty Ehrlichman. Why don't you?
Marty.
And then
Sis Gorman knows the owner or somebody on the board.
Yeah. I think Chucky's wife, I think I can get her in a lovely Donna Karen.
You come back and it's like you were gone for 20 minutes. Chucky is in one booth. Barbara's up there just like eating pizza, watching the kids.
This pizza's not this is very good. Very good.
Happy birthday, darling.
Happy birthday, sweetheart. You go in a week later, all the seats and tables have been ripped out. It's all just like Laura Ashley, like off-white, velvet. Oh my God. Okay. We have
French countryside.
What?
French countryside pizzeria.
Yes, totally. Okay, so something else that we have to discuss now that we're officially in October is the subject of my movies were movies.
Oh.
Week. Okay, we're in October. I was just telling you before we began that we're making the transition to fall, and everything just feels so nice. The weather's cooling off. You know, I hate the dark. It's getting darker sooner, but I love, even as a kid, my favorite holiday, you know, was always Halloween. And so, of course, there's all these fabulous old movies and not so old movies that I like to rewatch. And one of them is Hocus Pocus. So we have to discuss this movie, and I have to hear your journey with this movie, and if you've ever had one.
First of all, I'm going to kill myself because you called Hocus Pocus an old movie.
Well, then I said not so old. Well, I was thinking like, you know, I love to go back and rewatch like, you know, scary old movies like The Exorcist or Halloween, which are kind
when I think of old movies, I think of like, you know, like MGM pictures. RKO.
Yeah. Hocus Pocus, I guess, was 94? Is that
To be honest, I'm actually so old that like when Hocus Pocus came out, like my sister and like my cousin Jennifer, they were like really into it, but I was already like a little bit like, you know, it was never really my movie. I saw it at the time.
Mhm.
I didn't love it, and I've always felt a little bit like I missed the boat on that. I should probably rewatch it, but I'm also not that much of like a Halloween-y kind of person. But I love those three women so much, and I'm in such a deep SJP place.
Oh,
I'm currently binging Sex and the City, which I hadn't watched in like 4 years.
Yeah.
So I was overdue.
I haven't watched it since I moved to New York.
Oh yeah, you gotta.
But this movie is so, I mean, I was so obsessed with it as a kid. I can remember being at like the Hastings, which is like this video store in Oklahoma chain. Being at the Hastings, seeing the box, and back then at the movie store, you took the little tag off the hook and then took it to them and they gave you the tape. But I can remember like renting that movie for the first time and being like completely obsessed with it. It was my first taste of Bette Midler. It was my first taste of all of those ladies. And I talk about this a lot in our First Wives Club Quarantine Stream episode, but I got really into Bette, and I was so like in love with SJP. And you know, she was always, whenever my friends and I would play Hocus Pocus, I was always Sister Sarah, and then my friend Ryan was Minnie.
This is deep.
Yeah, and then later when First Wives Club came out, of course, I was obsessed with that. And then I became the Goldie, and he became the Brenda. Whenever we played First Wives Club, just like
you wanted to be a lead.
Yeah. So, but I was so obsessed with this movie, and I watched it so many times, and I haven't rewatched it in a couple years, but I feel like it's very polarizing. People either love it or hate it. Let's see.
People hate it?
Yeah, I mean, I think like you're saying, if you miss the boat, let's see, it came out in 94. I probably didn't see it until the next year though. So like I was born in 89, so I was probably 6.
When I was 18 or 17 or 18 when it came out.
Anyway, but people post about it so much during this time of year, and you know, there's a lot of people like me who are so nostalgic for it, and it's, you know, it's such a big part of our childhoods. But then I think there are other people who kind of miss the boat. And
yeah, I'm not hate it. I mean,
it's a bad movie, and I'm like, well, I can't say it's probably a great film.
Was it a hit? I don't even remember.
I don't think so. For some reason,
I think at the time my feeling was like, I already have The Witches of Eastwick. Why do I need this movie? I already have Death Becomes Her. Why do I need this movie? I already have She Devil. Why do I need this movie? Which is so like, you know, privilege because like.
Well, and you didn't even realize you were going to get Practical Magic as well.
And still don't. I'm like, first of all, you always obviously want more. It's like people like, oh, do we need another revival of Gypsy? I'm like, yes, bitch. You need all the revivals of Gypsy.
Always.
Give me Pixie Aventura in Gypsy. Give me Tanya Pinkins in Gypsy. Give me, you know, well, being a Christian woman, I can't say.
Being a Christian woman, I can't say it. Okay, so one more thing about this movie. I mean, first of all, shout out to this actress who plays the mom as Madonna.
Allison Reed. I mean, not Allison Reed. What's her name?
I don't know. I just looked it up. It's not Allison Reed.
Allison Reed.
Oh, okay, maybe.
She played Pam's mom on The Office.
No. That's a different woman.
Wait, and no, that's Stephanie Pharisee.
Yes, that's it.
She is best friends with Jeffrey Richmond, who's best friends with Patti LuPone.
Oh, it's all full circle, baby. Well, speaking of Patti, also, well, put a pin in that. I also, this part of this movie that I live for now the most is the fact that like randomly Penny and Gary Marshall had a huge part in it. They play Penny's just like drinking and smoking, and he's playing the devil, and like the sisters think he's like their master. It's like so campy. But okay, so this is the last thing I have to say about it. I found this randomly searching through images today. Get ready. Dream casting.
Wait, I can only see Patty and Harada, and who's the
It's Annalie Ashford.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
It's like I hate that. I really don't hate it.
No, I don't hate it either. Scott says that they workshopped Hocus Pocus musical theater versions. Interesting.
Okay, here we go. Taryn, I didn't watch it until as an adult. Good. Yeah, I remember I was scared of it as a kid for a little bit. Especially that first scene was kind of scary. It's all about what gets you first.
I don't know if that's true, Adam. Like, I mean, I get that. I guess that's probably like a guiding principle. But there are many things I think that I certainly prefer what I came to later. Richard J is here. Hi.
Hey.
I hope he was here for our what would Bernadette do round of Barbra Streisand, because that could get Richard J on 2 counts as both of their directors.
Totally. Famously directed Barbara's many wonderful concerts.
Look at the rudeness. Are you?
Oh, I love it. Okay, well, we have to move right along. Okay, so I have a few name that belts for you.
Oh, wonderful. I love this game.
Okay, so hold on. Where is it?
I love you. Really sing out. You really belt a song. There are very few of us left.
Oh, come on, Mama needs a new pair of shoes.
Okay, here we go. Here's the first one.
Okay. Okay. Can I hear it again?
Yes.
You know, that peanut buttery, throaty, mezzo-y thingy that I've been talking about? This is a real belt, but it has a little bit of that mezzo-y peanut buttery thing on top. Like, I almost am like, is it like Karen Morrow?
No, but I can see that's a really great guess. And
it's a little old school, right?
Old school, you're right. I'm gonna play it one more time. I may have given it away that time because you heard the whole word.
Pathetic. I know, Karen, this game is very stressful, and Richard J is stressing me out with his veiled threats.
Okay, I'm gonna play it again, and I'm gonna keep playing it so you'll kind of hear the context.
I do love that old school sound. Okay, so it's not Karen Morrow, but it's definitely a voice like that. Like, and it's not Susan Johnson. It sounds too modern for her. It's more 60s.
Yes. Oh my God, you're so spot on. You're like hitting all the right points.
Okay, so it's like from like a later era, a belter in that vein. Like, but a lot of people sang that way, like in those days that you wouldn't even necessarily like.
Yes.
Like.
Oh,
yes, it's totally Carol Burnett.
Good job, Jan Fortune. Mucho music. Bravo, bravissimo, bravo. That was, of course, Shy, her star turn on TV as
pathetic that I wouldn't recognize Shy, which is like, it's not like you chose some obscure song. Although I'm not such a Once Upon a Mattress person.
Yes. I mean, this whole, Hey 99, this is a wonderful, wonderful recording. We should do an appreciation. Yes, shout out Dan Forch. Okay, one more. We got to move right along, but I have to play you this one.
I mean, that had a little Patty quality to it. Although the thing, you can get thrown though. Like, it doesn't, if I start trying to figure it out intellectually instead of just by the sound, it's, it's the wrong road. But I don't think it was Patty, first of all, because I didn't recognize the the music. One more time.
Yes, thank you, Dan. Shout out. Okay, here we go.
Wait, I want to hear the little riff again.
Okay, let me see if I can.
Oh, wait. It's wicked. It's the Dina Menzel.
Yeah, think of that. That moment is very telling.
Richard J says Michelle Lee.
No, not Michelle Lee.
I mean, it's like.
Okay, I'm gonna play it one more time.
Oh, it's the music that makes me dance.
Yes.
And who is belting it in that fabulous vulgar way?
Vulgar. Just think vulgar.
I mean, so is it Lainey Kazan? No, but it's not Lainey. Lainey doesn't have that true of a real. She's not. Her belt would always have more like mannerisms to it.
Someone who has a great voice, but
just it's Mimi Hines.
No, not Elaine.
No, Elaine couldn't do that down an octave. Okay, so who the music that makes me dance? I mean, honestly, the attack on that note, not vocally, but singing that riff there reminds me of what Lorna does, but it's not Lorna's voice at all.
It's Lorna.
Oh, funny. I guess because I'm used to hearing her in a better sound quality version. Right. It sounds more. It's funny how sound quality affects things. Like sometimes it makes somebody sound better to have better sound quality, but sometimes in a way it's almost a worse. Something that's taped from the house, you really hear more of just them being like belting, as opposed to like the little folds and nooks and crannies.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so Lorna left. Well, without further ado, let's go to our final segment.
I just have to throw a little shade at Patty.
Please, by all means.
Get it out of the way before we get into the major ass kiss later, which is that, Adam, you can't give us links in the comments, and we're not taking, that's way too much contribution. We're not looking for that. Okay, so we want to interact, not have you suggest a whole new video. That's email that us for next week. By the way, people should be writing in to the dear friend. That's the place to put it.
You've got mail.
Dearfriendny@gmail.com.
Thank you, Richard. Anyway, my shade for Patty is that sometimes when I walk around on my daily walks, sometimes I have a specific thing I'm listening to or a playlist, but sometimes I like to just have my whole music library on shuffle just because it makes me listen to things that I wouldn't necessarily choose. So what came on was from a live bootleg of Patty doing her Lady with the Torch concert at Carnegie Hall in 2005, which I never listened to because there's a studio album. Even though there are some songs that she sings in the live version that were not on the album that I really like, but I never listened to it. But this was just her final encore a cappella of 100 Years From Today, which she famously, it's an old standard, but she famously sang it at Sunset Boulevard. Final performance. And so it's become, Dan, thank you for getting ready. It's become a thing she does as a final a cappella encore in many of her performances and concerts. But this comes on, I don't know what it was, I just hear it. And she's singing an a cappella final moment at Carnegie Hall of this kind of salt of the earth inspirational ballad standard from 100 years ago. That's it's a life lesson song. Life is such a great adventure. Learn to live it as you go. No one in the world can censure what we do here below. The message is on who's going to know what you did 100 years from today. So laugh and sing, make love. It's this message song, right? It's this sweet little, it's a benediction. And I swear to you, this thing comes on, and she's like, Life is such a great adventure. Learn to live as you go. No one in the world can censure what we do here below. I mean, like, what the fuck is she doing? It's like she's on with customer service, and they're like, name Patty LuPone. Can you just confirm your address so we know your identity? 110 Bedford Avenue. It's like, what is she doing? This is like, it blew me away. But I bring it up just to say that maybe if you were live in the theater watching her, maybe seeing her face, they say that deaf people read lips. Maybe, and Patty's got lips to spare. So maybe watching her, it wasn't so crazy. But this thing comes on and I'm like, are you freaking kidding me, LuPone? Get out of here with this.
Get out of here. Yeah. Okay, so Dan Fortune is on the ball. Now it's our final segment, Dolly Concert Kill.
Yeah.
In. No music. Great.
This one?
Yes, please.
Okay, so Christine Ebersole, Christine Baranski, Christine Jorgensen. I have to say, I love when people do the same first name for them. Yeah. It just gives it a little bit of a theme and a symmetry.
I love a theme.
Well, honestly, all three of these women would be great Dolly Levi's.
Totally.
I don't really know Christine Jorgensen's voice that much. My knowledge of her honestly comes from Bradford Lorick's fabulous one-person show about so I guess I would like her to do a solo thing so I could hear her story from her own lips. And then, I mean, God, what a hard choice. Ebersole, Baranski, Dolly. But I must say, my choice is clear. Baranski as Dolly. And, down, I was shocked by how piss poor her singing was in the City Center Encore's Follies, where all she had to do was sing I'm Still Here. And I don't mean piss poor singing like she got to the end and she couldn't belt the big note. I mean, throughout the song, she couldn't even handle, where she was really at sea. She was like trying to play an instrument she did not have the embouchure for.
Uh-oh. Well, I mean,
but I trust that Dolly she could do, and of course Ebersole would be a great Dolly too. Just while we're on the subject of Ebersole, I had this flash the other day that if they do some musicals of the Christopher Guest movies, I would love to see Christine Ebersole in the Jennifer Coolidge tracks. I know it's a strange choice, and she's older than Jennifer Coolidge and will be a lot older than Jennifer Coolidge was when she made those movies, although all those characters are so plastic, it kind of doesn't matter. But, they really ran it. They could not cast the Jennifer Coolidge role when they did the musical version of Legally Blonde. And we all know who they finally cast.
Orfeh.
And she was nominated for a Tony, but, it was not my favorite. And I love Orfeh. I mean, she was just on Sex and the City the other day as like a Staten Island trash or Jersey trash lady at a bar. And she was fucking brilliant.
That's another reason I need to rewatch that series is because now I would know all those guest stars.
Oh, yes, you would. And Julia Murney was on the same episode. It's loaded with Broadway because it's one of those, it's in the beginning of that era with Sex and the City and The Sopranos when they started filming Spin City that I worked on, a lot of stuff in New York. Anyway, but so I love Orfeh, but Jennifer Coolidge is a very unique talent, and it really doesn't work to stick other people in her. I will say Natalie Joy Johnson on the national tour was better than that, but still, it's a very hard sell. And but I think Ebersole.
We have to talk about this more because I don't know if I buy it quite yet.
Think about her as Little Edie. She did basically the same thing. She went and took a character that was so fully realized already. You don't get to do your own version. You have to do that and then make that your own.
But Little Edie was still like this. She came from like this East Coast like family. Christine has that classy. I mean, Jennifer Coolidge always plays such like white trash. But I'm like
from the fucking Midwest.
What?
Christina's from the Midwest. She's like Chicago.
Yeah, but she doesn't. She's too classy. Her. I don't know. We'll talk about it more. We have to go.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
We're running over. But thank you guys for listening, playing us out, and we'll see you next week.
Autumn, winter, next year. Time heals everything. It's a song. Time heals everything.